Hello everyone. I hope all are there. Good evening. This is Priyanka. I'm an architect and visiting faculty at Oro University.
Very good evening to everyone. First of all, thank you all for joining us. I mean, there are many things not certain at the moment in this pandemic, but there are a few good things that are happening right now. And one of them is the session. So, very good evening to all of you, and thank you to join the session. And today, we both will be with you for an hour or so. And the idea of this webinar is to introduce you to a very specific technique that we use in the field of design. So before we begin, I'll be coining some keywords here. So the keywords would be paper, it would be paper folding, it would be origami, it would be form, and so on. So gradually you'll realize that there are demonstrations, there are examples, there are ways in which this origami has been used. My other co-author will actually explain you very systematically through examples and demonstration what origami form takes in types of building and how do we go about it. So before we begin that journey, I would like to, ask you to recall few observations that you have made. See, try and understand that nothing in our world is flat. Everything is three-dimensional and everything has a certain form. Now, when I talk about a form, I can tell you as a design faculty that there are many methods in which the form building can take place. Form can be made using an addition technique. It can be made using a subtraction technique. It can also be made using casting. Now, addition, subtraction, casting, these are very technical words. So I'll simplify it for them. If you put two timber pieces together and form a furniture, that's addition, that's an assembly. If you take concrete and start subtracting and create a chair from it, that's subtraction. If you cast a mold in plastic and concrete, that's a casting. But here we are going to talk about one more technique that's called folding. Now, how do you use folding as a technique? And to what material can you employ folding? So again, a keyword that we'll be using here is planar and sheet materials, because you are trying to fold something. That means it should offer less resistance when you're trying to fold it. And that's how we have this material called paper in front of us. Now, it appears to be two-dimensional at the moment, but I've applied origami to it. And you'll realize that, it has got a form. Now this form has come by the virtue of folding, by very systematically putting crease and bend onto its surface to arrive at something. And here you need to understand that origami, a folding technique, is common to many design fields. It is used in textile, it is used in jewelry, it is used in product design, it is used in industrial, it is used in furniture, it is used in architecture. So almost any design field that you can talk about, origami has its influence and has its reference there. Over to you, Priyanka.
Okay, so can you share the images?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So guys, before starting the demonstration for origami, I would like to share a quote by Paul Jackson. Paul Jackson wrote a book on folding for designers. And what he says is folding by hand is a low-tech as any making activity that can be. You are making something directly with your body, that means your hands, without the intervention of a third-party tool such as a pencil, a mouse, or a needle. It is almost a unique making experience and perhaps unfamiliarly primal. This very basic hands-on activity, especially in today's high-tech design environment, can be very powerful and rewarding for a most raw student or for a veteran professional. You can think of folding by hand as an alternative to designing by computer, or it can be a very excellent educational experience. I think with that quote, we would move on to the demonstration of a crane that Priyanka would share with you. I would share a video that she made while she was making a crane, and I hope you guys see it.
So this is the most famous Japanese art, which is called crane. And in Japanese culture, this is the important thing for everyone, and all of Japanese people do this once in a life.
I think it's quite interesting to see here that paper as a material allows you such exceptional forms. Like it's a light material, it shows its behavior, it allows you to fold the way you want, and that actually creates a whole new era of forms. And in this entire journey today, we'll share many developments and forms that this folding with paper and folding with other material can do.
Okay, so here I am presenting the origami crane, which is most common art in Japan. You can understand this. I just took one A4 portrait paper and I'm just making it square. I removed the extra part. Now it's square. Folding it again. So this line and this line. Fold it again. Press it. Turn it up.
And I think as you can see on the screen, I hope you see it on the screen. Sorry for the technical issues, but see, this entire flatness of the papers allows us folding in many directions, and once you specifically decide where to fold and what to fold, you eventually arrive at a very interesting form. And what Priyanka is demonstrating is a crane, and there are many different forms that we want to introduce today at this session.
Yes, I know I'm making it very fast, but it's a video and I took like 15 minutes to make this. So don't try to make it right now. If you can try, because you are doing it first time. So,
and we'll share you the link and other instructions as you make it further. You know, with this introduction, we can tell you what are the ways possible for this.
First, understand how it's taking form. See the symmetry, see the lines. And most important part is in crane is, if it's work, then it's successful. Sometimes if there are error in your folding, or folding it wrong direction, this crane can't fly.
Yeah, so that's one of the demonstration of paper folding. See, now you try and understand, since it's a paper and there have been a lot of experimentations already done. On a flat paper like this, you actually just need to apply crease. You need to bend it. You need to fold it in order to get a form. If it's a flat paper, obviously it will have no strength, but the moment you start, bending it, folding it in different direction, that's where the form starts to begin. That's where you actually see the form that is being generated, right? And here what you see is just a very beginning paper folding, where on one side you have ridge, where I've made a cut, on one side you have a valley. You can again see it like this. If I put it sideways, you can see there's a depression on one side. There is, elevation on one side. So that's where it begins. That's where the paper folding begins. Again, like when you start folding it, it gives you various forms, and now you need to decide what form to choose and where to fix yourself. It can become almost a star. It can become a triangle, and it can actually become, it can do whatever you want it to be. So it totally depends on what you choose and how do you want to go about it. I'll share some more forms that we have made here. I think, see, with this particular thing, we wanted to also, actually, sort of introduce due to a certain technique that we as designers use. See, try and understand that the idea is to create something, right? And the material that is handy to all of us as designer is paper. Most of you who are about to join design or who are already designer, they have separate notions for paper. For those who are about to join the design field or are in the 11th or 12th or who have joined it or not from the design field, for them paper might have been maybe in the form of a register where you're writing something, or it could have been a notebook, or it could have been, that MACD or wrapper, whatever. But the moment you come into design, that's where this particular material has been given many different forms, has been given many different roles, I would say. You are able to communicate your design through paper. You eventually draw, and since at School of Design, what we essentially say is that, it's thinking hands and making minds. We here very certainly believe in making. We believe that, when you work with your hand, that's where your senses are at the work, and that's where you are into creation. So this particular form that you have in front of you is a set of ridges and valleys, right? When you close it, that's how it is. So it's quite stackable, and it can actually take a form of a tent if you want. In the presentations that you will see next, you will see that these forms are given a lot more role. They are actually visualized or realized in the form of shelters and so on. Similarly, again, to demonstrate origami, what you see in front of you is a paper, and I have used a cutter and I've used the steel edge. Essentially, I've made some markings. These are not computer drawings; these are manual actually. And what one has done is, once the markings are in place, there are many templates available. You can actually choose any template you want, and you just need to follow. Where do you want to cut? Where do you want to? Again, you're not going to cut anything here. It's just a half cut. So on what surface of the paper? If this is the front side, that's the back side. Here there are half cuts on both the direction, and what that does, it distributes paper into different directions. So this flat paper with all those set of half cuts eventually is folded to get you a form, and that form is here. You can see it actually. This works. It works quite good if you want to have a space inside. Also these triangulations, they can do a lot. Right now, if you consider this as a cylinder, and if you cover it from all the side, you can eventually make a lamp out of it. In the presentations next, you will see those lamps there. And if the same pattern is repeated, you can actually make a pan stand, or many other things, and so on. Like just a lamp that has been made using the same technique. Here it's just ridges and valleys. So what we are trying to say is that this particular technique of folding and taking paper as a medium can yield a lot of forms. And origami artists, they have thoroughly invested, and they have thoroughly come up with a lot of forms that are available. Paul Jackson, the one that I mentioned, or the one that ma'am mentioned in the beginning, they are in a way pioneers of the today origami form, or the phase that you see in the 20th century, and obviously right now. And they're not just they're quite rigid also, and it totally depends on the kind of folding that you employ. Like it becomes a flat sheet like that, and essentially it's a cube. And then the moment I start twisting it, because I've already made the cut, I'm able to lock this. That almost becomes a twisted cube here, and that's what it is. And if I keep on stacking it, it almost becomes quite rigid. And you can use this, and you can rest something on top. It can become a furniture for you. So that's what we're trying to say, that this folding has got a lot of applications. It has been employed in mechanical engineering. It has been employed in structural engineering. Structure, of course, because when you fold, that's where the material comes together. That's where it has got a lot of strength. Mechanical, because there's a lot of movement involved because of of a lot of creasing and a lot of movement. So that's what origami does, and it's just a bare introduction. Next, the video that ma'am is going to show you is again a very interesting origami flasher. So see that demonstration, and then we meet with the next one. Over to you, Priyanka.
So again, you can see I am just making it square. It's a fun pattern called the origami flasher, and you get this sync flasher motion. This has been proposed as a design for satellite solar array, increase in compactness for launch and reliability in deployment. You can see how I made the square in between the paper. It's too easy. You can try it. So I'm making same pattern other side by folding it. Try to make it equal. Now I have to give a central line. So in this triangle, I will give the one line, center line. Next I'm coming. I'm folding it again and again, so you know it will be like more easier to you can see I am making center line. Just turn it. Now check all the three sides. Same thing. So you can see while folding it, you can make it like circle. This exactly pattern is used for satellite solar array with this concept. You can see.
So, guys, like as you saw, it started with again a flat paper. See, I'm just trying to make you explain it in a simple words in that sense. It started with a flat paper. There were a set of folds that obviously the author knows, and it depends. Like you just have to follow certain ridges and valleys and certain patterns in which you would like to fold it, and that eventually gives you a form. I want you to have some observations here because it is also in a way a dialogue. I mean, obviously it's not a kind of a dialogue where I'm speaking and you're reverting back, but I'm sure you are able to hear me with that, or you're able to hear us. So try and understand it was a flat paper, right? Eventually there was a transformation that took place. It was no more flat. It arrived at a form, and that form essentially had a transformation, like from a flat plane to the form that you saw. So that word I would describe as transformation. Again, there was a motion here. From a flat thing, it actually was moving in all the direction. So there was a motion in that sense. What you would see in the other screen that Ma'am was describing earlier, it has got applications humongously in all the directions. Apart from that, there is the change in the size. The paper, which was 210 by 297 mm, that's what we call an A4, is now a small cylinder which can actually go in all the directions. So that's what origami does. And you got to see a new form. And obviously it had some aesthetic component attached to it. So using these words from the demonstration that she made, transformation, motion, change in the form, new form, and aesthetics. So these were the things that actually sort of became a visual journey of this 7 to 8 minutes video that we sort of shared with you. And again, the flatness of the paper actually changes back to the form that the maker has decided. And these has got a lot of applications, as we have been mentioning again and again. It has got a lot of applications. There's a lot of flexibility to form, and these flexibilities are being used. Again, in the presentation, we are going to share that this particular pattern has been used by the military to design a bulletproof shield for them. And you see that origami has been employed in science. It has been employed in various other fields with this. Next, you are going to see a video that ma'am will be sharing again. And after that again, yeah. Over to you, Priyanka.
Yeah. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
So this pattern is perhaps the granddaddy of deployable structure. It's called the Miura-Ori. Fact is, was one of the first patterns that flew on space mission back in 1995. It was called the Space Flyer mission, as you have it all opens and close in a single motion. And when it flattens, it's very thin and compact. Now you can see it. So this pattern So yeah, you can see this pattern. is a single motion, and when it flattens, it's very thin and compact. You can see this.
So exactly that is what we were trying to tell you, that with origami comes transformation. You actually end up getting the form that you need, but at the same time with that form there's also a function that is attached. And since in this pandemic you would realize that there are a lot of emergency shelters that are required, and the same kind of origami was used in Himachal, it was used in Kutch, it was used in other places where using cardboard. And also you'll see the example, there's a designer in Pune, she has actually made a bed out of origami and the cardboard sheet. And the best part about this particular aspect or act of folding is that the moment you get into a form, you can start playing with it. I mean, for designers, then it becomes a lot more thing. Like, if I actually use it like that, it gives me a space beneath, right? And if I have a base here, I know that there's this thing here. Now what if I start bringing these planes together, I get more space. So it does that. Again, if you want to put it vertical, it allows you with a very different pattern. It allows you to expand itself, it contract as well. So mind well, I mean, we are not trying to sort of decorate that the paper act and it's a craft. Since we all are into design and almost it's a very serious field, which starts with these toys, and it has got far-reaching applications. As I said, now the same sheet of paper, it became something else. Now it becomes something else. Like what ma'am was demonstrating, there was a paper. Now it just becomes a strip like that. Also, this becomes a twisted cube, as you say. So transformation has been applied, and again, what we have right now in front of us is a paper. The moment you start using it with different material, like with the advancement of a lot of material, there are a lot that are available in sheet. So you see plywood, you see metal, you see paper, you see fabric. All these are available in the sheet form, and what they exactly do is they give you a form. Like you would see in the presentation next, there is a chair that is made out of fabric, and there is this metal sheet that has been folded to give you a stool, to give you a chair, to give you a sofa. Like ma'am just described, this concept has been used for the space rovers and other launching devices. The next video that you will see is the kaleidoscope. Yeah, over to you.
So the paper folders are created a continuously revolving compliant mechanism which is called a Collitis cycle. It's very simple and complicated at the same time. So I use different method here to cut the paper. You can see clearly a triangle in the center of the paper. Removing the extra part. Now you have rectangle. You are folding it again. It's very simple. You can try it right now with your paper. For this, you need one pencil also. Now I am dividing this paper into 4 parts. And I'm folding it from the different side. Same. Joining the paper. Now you can see I joined it. Now I have to divide it into 4 parts, and then you can see I am just folding it. I got one line. Now I am folding it again. First I need to divide it into 4 parts. Now I'm dividing it into 8. You can see how I'm folding it. I'm taking reference. I'm not marking with pencil, with anything. I'm just using maths. Now I need to draw the pattern. You can see I am drawing it. Now I am folding it same direction. It's easy to fold from different directions, so I'm taking from other direction. So it's a folded paper, so it's very hard to fold. So I am just first molding it and then folding. You can see the pattern. Now I am drawing it from the other part. I don't want it to complicate it for you. That's why I am doing it one at a time. And now I am folding same way from the other side. You can see I'm folding it again and I'm putting one full part inside the another part. You can see it's very easy. Take a little bit time to go inside because it's the same pattern and it become very heavy also. I'm pushing it. When the one line is joining with another line, then you can remove it. Your hand. So almost it's done. So I'm just pressing it from 3 sides to make it equal. You can see I'm folding it another way. Different side. The smaller part I am putting inside. That's all. You can see. Now I'm putting another side. Almost done. First and second round, it's little difficult because the paper is, more thicker now. So it takes little bit time, but after some time, automatically it adjusts. You can see it's going easily. So it's continuously revolving.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So students, and participants and attendees, if you could again visualize, see what I'll also make it a point here is that what does a design do and what does a designer do? We all know that this sheet of paper is certainly used as a bank application form, or maybe for somebody to store a chana and eat, or maybe it's used for packaging. So definitely we humans have found meaning to the material that is available to us. Like for example, what ma'am demonstrated in front of you was a continuously changing form together. So what we are trying to say here is that a design gives a new avatar to the form that is already available. We all have paper with us. This form was given to the paper by the design and the act of making. The act of making requires a designer, and that's what we all are in that sense. So it's a flat paper, essentially. There's a design that is overlaid to it. There's a designer who then performs a lot of operation, and then what you get is a form. So just in this simple word, what I'm trying to say is that always design is like that. There are a lot of materials available around you, and with this particular technique and method, what we're trying to say is that there is this act of folding, and it applies to all the material that are flat, that are in plane, that are sheets. And the moment you start folding them, the moment you construe or you understand that the intention is to arrive at this, that's where this entire reaction start. And again, I'll tell you that it is the designer who actually look at a very simple, a very Philippine thing, a paper, and give it a form. And this entire journey gives you a very different experience in terms of a profession as well. I think I'll move on back to Priyanka. She will be sharing one more video, and it will be a very interesting gland that you'll see. It is also interesting to make. Over to you.
Yes.
If you want, I can try sharing the screen one more time.
You can see I having one same A4 paper and one metal scale and pencil and one cutter and eraser. I'm dividing into two parts, just marking it the center, other side, actually all four sides. Now I am drawing it four side. You can see I have marked it. Now I will cut it. From the other side, all four sizes. So you can see now I am drawing one line. I drawn and dividing into three parts. Not actually dividing. From the left side, I am marking 2.4 centimeter, 5.3 centimeter, 8.3 centimeter from the left side, both the sizes. I marked it, and I'm erasing the line, linear line, which I draw first. And now I am going to cut this part which I marked it. You can see how precisely I am trying it. Cutting it half. I will share all the video with you. You can, slow it down and you can draw it exactly. Now it's very simple. You have to fold it. First I'm just making molding, and now you can turn it. Easy. Done. So I have done almost 8 this same pattern. So how to join it together? You can see we already cut it. So now I'm joining it. You can see it's very simple. It's a beautiful pattern. Now I have joined so many. It's actually according to your diameter. So I am just making one strap for light to hold it. It's just a circle. You can do with any pattern. I'm sticking it with tape. You can see. Just joining it together with tape, and now I'm trying to see it's ready. I just have to install it in this. I'm putting this inside. So put your hand inside it and try to hold from another hand the bulb or light holder and just try to fix it. Now it's ready.
Yeah. So with that, essentially what ma'am could share was some demonstration. We had made good videos, to be very honest. It's just that due to a lot of technical glitch, we were not able to translate it, but we have tried. We will definitely share all the videos with you, and also at our Instagram page, which is on Design School at our university. Now with that, I would like to get into an important domain, because we have been saying that origami is used and applied in many streams so far. We would now see what happens when you fold something. What all materials can you fold? And when you fold, what is the kind of form that emerges? And that kind of form has been used where and in what ways? I'll try to see if the screen works. Priyanka, if it's not sharing, let me know. I'll share.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see the presentation? Priyanka, help me. Can you see the presentation?
No.
You can't? Can you see it?
No.
Okay. I'll stop sharing. We can again go back to the video. Yeah, can you see it?
Should I show for you?
Yeah, please do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this sort of presentation that we are running is essentially to direct you to areas where this has been employed and what are the developments in the direction. Yeah, can you go to the next one? Next, please. Yeah. So as you can see, that using a sheet metal, there has been a bending that essentially leads you to a very sleek side table that borrows support from the vertical surface, which is also a wall or a partition wall. And it's a sleek metal. It has been folded. It has been cut using a profile water jet. And what you see is a very sleek furniture. So this segment is origami plus furniture. And next. Again, set of stools. Again, the same folding has been used. So try and see, the parent material was a flat sheet, and just using origami or just using the technique of folding, it has now arrived to a form. And these forms actually are stackable. These are nice, neat stools. Here at School of Design in the furniture course, we actually make these prototypes with the students live. Next, please. Thank you. Then again, now you see there are two materials. On the top you have a plywood, and then you have the metal sheet that has been bended. And again, very important thing to see here, that when it's flat, when a paper is flat, it has got no strength. There's actually no strength. But the moment you start, it has no strength like that. It almost bends. But the moment you start folding it, that's where the strength comes in. That's where two materials come closer to each other. And the same demonstration you can see here in this piece of furniture, where you have a sheet metal that has been bended to form the leg for the table. Next, please.
Just a minute, Vicky. I think people are not able to see it.
No, they can see your screen. I can see your screen.
But they are messaging me.
We can't see the present. We cannot see the presentation. We cannot see. Suraj sir, can you help us?
Priyanka, your screen is visible. They were talking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your screen is visible. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, please go ahead. Your screen is visible.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, so next what you see here is a piece of furniture. Again, it's a flat sheet. There has been cut in the direction which leads you to this kind of a furniture. You see, when you cut, when you fold, you actually take a departure from the plane that is flat, and that's where you start giving a new role or an avatar. That's what I've been saying, that this is the role of a designer. They will take a flat metal sheet. For other, it's it's almost like a metal sheet, but for us it's a piece of furniture. Next, please.
Yes, The thing that makes origami useful is it is a way of transforming a flat sheet into some other shape with relatively little processing.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, so that's again a chair, a complex looking one, but using origami. Yeah, next one, please. Yeah. So that's a stool, again, that has gained rigidity due to the folding. So, there are so many forms. See, again, try and understand. It's the same material, and it's the same technique that is folding. And you arrive at so many forms. That's what we wanted to tell you. That's where, for examples that ma'am had shared and few examples that I've shared here, the technique remains the same. The form of the material, which is the sheet, remains the same. And it leads you to a lot of form. And that again is the role of a designer. And that's what the design field is known for. You always invent a new form by being very close to the technique and by being very close to the material. And that's what we do very closely at School of Design. Next, please. Yeah. And see, then there are these, other than the furniture, there are these elements that you see that, get a very interesting form once you apply folding to it. Here you see a set of lamps that are formed using origami. Next, please. Yeah, that's what ma'am was describing in the presentation before, that it has been a very important invention in that sense, that there are 12 layers of a geotextile fabric and they have been folded in a pattern that I described earlier. It is almost very similar to this pattern, and that has given a very interesting shield, a protective layer to the militants. Yeah, next please. Then you see a lot of chairs. These are all product of origami. They're all product of this art of folding, and you arrive at a very interesting set of forms with this. Yeah, next please. Yeah, so that's what we were saying. Origami and science, it actually gives you a lot of interesting forms. Next. This is a lunar, it has been used, it is going to be employed as an object for the study of moon. And yeah, this was again used as for the intervention in the Mars. Priyanka, there's a chat which says your screen is not visible. Can you just check, is your video on?
Yeah, my video is on.
Okay, let's go ahead. So then you see origami is now taking larger forms as well. You saw smaller elements, you saw the intervention taking place in the field of science and technology. Now you see there is architectural forms, some galleries that have come up just using this technique. That is what we have been discussing so far. And there are tremendous amount of forms, like what ma'am described. There are more than 10,000 forms that can come with this simple technique. Yeah, next please. You see there is this again, this triangular plane is divided into linear timber materials. It's a very nice pavilion that we see here. Next please. Yeah, that's again a gallery. It is in Delhi. Using origami, it's in Delhi. Yeah, next please. Yeah, that's a chapel. It's a Vatican chapel. It has again used origami as an underlying concept for its formation. Next. That's a parametric architecture. So folding planes gives you a very interesting canopy. That is what has been a byproduct of this technique again. Next. So you see staircases. So from the large form again to the smaller form, from a chair, a stool, to a lamp, to a staircase, to a step. It has got tremendous applications. Yeah, next please. Then you see we were talking about emergency shelters, and that's where it has been quite instrumental, because you need something, you need to cater to people, you need to house them, and you need them in labor, you need to assemble them, you need to transport them. This technique has been tremendous. Again, in a small research cell that we have, we do that. Next, what you see is art and design with origami. These are some students, but they have been into designing lamps using origami. So you can just quickly look at them. Yeah, please go ahead next. Yeah, again a shelter here. Yeah. And these are some very interesting modules. These are modules that have been generated using origami, and the moment you start repeating them, you arrive at a form, and that only origami can give you. It is not simpler, it's quite complex. These are lamps that are generated out of folding techniques. Yeah, next. Again, some lamps, folding techniques. Yeah, and what you see as the last slide is one of the exercises that we did with the School of Design students. Using origami and using folding, they made all the letters. So ma'am, if you could play that video, and from there we can approach the question answer session. It's just a last 1 minute video that you can see, and then we see if there are some questions. Yeah. Ma'am, if
actually I don't, can you share that video?
Okay, I will do that. I'll try. I hope, can you see that?
No, I think you have to show with your mobile.
Okay, I think it'll be difficult.
Give me 2 minutes.
It's okay, it's okay. We can move on to the question answer sessions if you want.
Yes. So I'm just checking that video. If I can get it, I'll share it.
Yeah. Sir.
Yes, sir.
We can take up some question answers if there are any. We can interact. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is one question that I'm able to see. Are you able to see the Q&A?
Sorry. Yeah, there's a question.
Yeah.
So I'm showing the video.
Okay. Okay. Please. So these are works by our students of 18 batch. They all made a lot of elements using origami, using folding. They learned surface development, and they eventually cracked how using a single sheet of paper you can make letters. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so there are two questions that we have for us. As I'm able to see the screen, I would like to, we would like to answer this. So the first question is, sir, can I know any websites to learn the basics of this works? Okay, I'll answer this live. So basically, you need to follow works of Paul Jackson, and there is this person by the name Nadir Tehrani. He has been using a lot of folding techniques in plywood and also ICD. That's a college in Stuttgart, Germany. They have been using a lot of folding techniques to arrive at interesting architectural forms. So that is there, and apart from that, if you start looking at folding planes .com. I think that's also a good website that you can find it, and we will post the others in the comment of the video on Facebook for you. The next question that we have is why triangle is used mostly in the way folded plate structure. Again, I would like to answer this live. Ma'am, you can also share your views. So the question says that triangle is used mostly in the way you fold plate structure. I think triangle is a very stable form. It requires only 3 lines for it to complete it. That's why you're using a lot less material. Also, triangulation in a way is very efficient when it comes to translation of forces. So many forms that you could see, they can very well achieve rigidity or stability just by triangulation. And the moment you start triangulating them using folding crease, that's where you get a lot of stability. And that's what have been tried. And also, once you actually have a ridge and a valley, you can actually see this. So it's one of the most basic forms, and it's again quite stable. Also, the valleys that are getting formed, they are triangular in shape. The ridges that are getting formed, they are triangular in shape. So it's one of the very basic shape that you have. Yeah. I think we have answered 2 of them. I hope. So I guess thank you all for joining us. There were some technical glitches, but we'll definitely post all the 6 videos that we have made for you guys, because it belongs to you and you have to play it again if you feel like, and definitely it will give you some slight introduction to origami. We are designers. Again, I'll tell you, origami is a vast field. So we have just tried, both of us have just tried to touch upon this concept. We are not here to say that we are expert to it, but we can say that as design faculties, we use it more oftenly, and we thought it's a very interesting sort of a design tool or technique that can give students a lot of forms. Yeah. Okay, there's one more question. Please, sir, please share the name of the book from which you made these origamis. So we were referring to Paul Jackson. There are many other books on origamis you can see, and I think there's a lot data available on the internet as well. So, but we'll write for you. Also, there is one more question for us. Sir, how can you differentiate between parametric architecture and architecture that is inspired by origami? I think origami and parametric, they are 2 different things. Origami starts and revolves around folding a plane, and parametric has to do with a very different kind of form finding. Obviously, these both techniques, they have form finding, a very specific method towards form finding. Parametric altogether applies a lot more techniques and fixtures, like, you know, you use a lot of softwares, and you have a surface that is differentiated in many ways to get you an architectural form, since you're using the word architecture. And origami, in that sense, can be applied to any basic thing, like what ma'am has shown you as example. It can start from science, it can go to a staircase flight. It has got a lot of applications altogether. Yeah, that's what I answered. Done. So, yeah. If there are any more questions, please let us know. Sir, over to you, Suraj sir.
Okay, so we can end the session probably, because we have a next session at 6:30.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.